What is good, chat? We're up in the Super Bowl MVP today. Even though the nigga is on the Kansas City Chiefs, I would still rep my Super Bowl MVP because he was my MVP before he even got touched by the goddamn Uncle Junk ass fucking Chiefs, man. But anyways, though, it's back to regularly programmed scheduling. As you can see, it's not that bad out. And it is just whitish streets until obviously we get up to fucking the boulevard. Then it's gonna get more noisy. But today, man, realize something. As I said here, and we're not going to continuate from what we were discussing yesterday. However, we will continue to discuss something that's always been on my mind. And it's perception and reality of people. The biggest thing I see on the day-to-day is most people lack the understanding and awareness of their perception of the reality. For instance, I don't know what perception people get when they look at me. However, I can tell you the reality of self. However, whatever perception that is someone else has of me, good, bad, otherwise, is the reality for them, who I am. Now until they get proof otherwise of that reality, that will be what it is. So for instance, if, what would we give an example? Jason Lewin, well that nigga, I just saw a clip of him being fucking, went band for band with some lady, and I don't know what that lady did as a profession. She most likely was fucking balling on niggas. He said, that's just in one account. I was like, damn. But anyways, though, let's get to it. So, from that perspective, my reality of Jason Lewin is a nigga is rather very irresponsible with his money, number one. Number two, the house that they live in, he is, barely getting by to afford that shit. Number three, a lot of the time that he is making content, he isn't pulling in the revenue that he would like to. Those are the three things I've seen. So, with just that one clip, this is the foundational buildup of who Jason Lewin is that could be in my eyes. Now, I pocket watch, so I know that's not the case. I know whatever troll bullshit he was doing in that video, I know it's not the necessary reality, but I'm just painting a picture. So, even though I don't know nothing about this individual, I've never met this person, I've only seen what interactions he's made online. But I can tell you one thing, that no matter what perception I have of somebody, they're still human. They're still here to possibly evolve and change and do better for themselves or worse. Either way, it doesn't negate the fact that your perception is your reality. So, what I've realized is, I used to think people did not like talking to me. And I don't know why I got this thought. For the longest time, I would see that. I don't know if it was just from the empirical evidence against that. However, that was my reality for a long time. Every time I walk out, people mug me. People stare at me crazy, especially older men or men my age. And then women, they'd kind of, give me a look up and down, but they wouldn't engage necessarily. And I've come to realize that, well, for the woman's case, they just don't want their egos hurt for me to shoot that shit down, number one. And for men's sake, it could possibly be jealousy. Now, you can call that delusion, you can call it what you want, but when I viewed the world that way, my perspective changed. So my reality changed about myself. Now, my perspective of myself is people do enjoy talking. People are open to doing something. So, what happens now? I get random grandmas on the train talking to me. I get children talking to me. I I get other people asking me questions. I have tons of different people, like when I first moved here to now, who just randomly come up and ask me motherfucking questions, or ask something, or try to start a conversation. It could be anything, bro. Quite literally anything. They just want to start conversing with me. And I didn't realize that change until I changed my perception of myself. And that's kind of what beholded this reality. So perception is a very strong thing to have. Now, the only way to really get true perception of an individual or yourself is to learn who you are, to learn who that person is. It's hard for me to make judgment on somebody, but I don't have a full picture of who they are. For instance, my brother, I have a very deep connection with him, and my perception of him is very rooted, if you will. Like, it's hard for somebody to say something ill-willed about my brother and me not think a certain way because I know who my brother is. I'm not saying I know every part of him, but from his character and who he is, who I see who he is, it's very hard to say that anybody has anything bad to say about him unless they caught him on the worst fucking day on the planet. And even then, he still has the emotional tolerance of, even though having a rough day, still, talk nice and calm and be very nice and kind to people. So that's kind of how you view that, right? And for other people, self-awareness is a journey that takes every day. However, the nice thing about having a self-perception of yourself, anyways, having self-perception would just be you being delusional to some degree. For instance, there's this one thing I've realized is moving out here. There would have been no time for me ever to sit there and say, I'm ready to move to California. There just never would have been. There just never would have been. I would have said, I want to save some money, or I want to save more money, boom, boom, boom. 1 year turns to 3 years, 3 to 5, 5 to 10. Next thing you know, I'm 30-something. Finally moved to LA, and I'm just now starting, my footing here. So that's kind of how I see that. So let me kind of go into that deeper. So I kind of just threw myself into the wind with a hope. I moved here. I would stay with my brother in the dorm. Got a fucking job, which is the current job I'm working. And then started to pay fucking bills. And that's it. Now, currently right now, I'm looking for a different path. Really just to make more money. Because to me, the amount of effort I put into work comparatively to what I'm getting out of work isn't much. And as of now, I've kind of gotten to the point where it's like, I work all the paper. However, there's certain paper I don't want to work. Straight up. And if I don't work one paper, I can't work the other paper. So it's kind of like, well, that's kind of some bogus. It's not my fault I don't work that shit. I'm just being thrown into it. Plus, on top of it, like, it's not like the client's providing like big, good paper to work to compensate for what's there and what I have to do on that call. So I'm sitting here looking at that shit. I'm just like, okay, so I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And those are kind of like the very important roles of what I do on a day-to-day basis. Plus, on top of it, my transportation time. I don't really have an issue with it anymore because I've been doing it fucking so long. I've been doing it for 9 months. But start to sit here and realize that a lot of the time that you spend actually learning more about a job than it seems to love it or hate it. Don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful for my work. I'm grateful for what it is. However, I'm not a customer service oriented individual. To me, it's like, dog, I'm not trying to hear the sob story of what happened. Look, all I want to know is if you're going to pay the money or not. That's it. If you are, great. let's keep conversing. If you're not, oh, I hope you have a better day. Dang, I started crying. But anyways, what was I? Fuck. I ruined my whole mojo. Took my throat chakra away. What do you think? Oh, yes. You rather gonna pay this money or you not? If you gonna pay this money, great, let's keep talking. If not, then ain't nothing to talk about, right? Take your ass on somewhere, call us back when you can make a payment. Some people, I ain't going to a rant about all the tedious, bogus I do it on a regular basis. No, I just don't feel that's worth me exerting that negative energy out, especially on this platform. Maybe somebody else, not on this platform. But, yeah, man, there's just certain things that you get annoyed from working on the day. But, it's been 11 minutes. I'm going to catch y'all now. Get back to this.